Hello, hello. A little while back I did a poll of a case that you guys would like to see me do, and Casey Anthony won the poll. I watched the documentary. A lot of people were asking me on Instagram what I thought about the documentary and if I'd seen it. So I kind of wanted to do this while this was still semi-fresh in my mind. I've watched it now probably about 3 weeks ago, I guess it was. So before it completely gets out of my brain, I want to just do this reading and kind of get it out of the way. So we're going to be looking into Casey Anthony. I also found these little things that I had. And if you do readings, these are great. They magnet together and you can put 3 rows of cards on them. So I saw this and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the reading now because I want to try these out. So we're going to look into Casey Anthony. I want to start with the week prior to Caylee's death. Casey's energy, Caylee's energy, and Casey's father, George's energy. Hanged Man for Casey. She was starting to see things through a new perspective. Her perspective was shifting. King of Swords in reverse for her father's energy. And Two of Pentacles reversed for Caylee's energy. So for Casey, she felt like her father had control over something, and she was either kind of done fighting against it and like, I'm just gonna let him have control, or it was the opposite where she was like, I'm gonna rebel and just do everything I can to show him that he doesn't actually have the control. One or the other. But she felt like he was abusing some kind of authority or abusing some kind of like a mental hold that he potentially had over her, something along those lines. It could be something such as like withholding love from someone, or like withholding that two-way street of a relationship until somebody kind of does what you want, or something along those lines. That's the energy. For Caylee, it does seem like I'm seeing like maybe the home being a mess in the week before her death. There was something externally that was causing her to internally feel chaos. And I think it was more than just the energy of the people. There was something in her environment that was causing Caylee in the week before her death to feel out of sorts, to feel off, maybe to feel scared or anxious, something along those lines. But she was very deep in one of those type of emotions. I want to know about Casey and George and the energy between them in the 2 weeks prior to her death. Ace of Swords in reverse. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. King of Pentacles in reverse for him again. Another reversed king for him. So the first pull for the father, we got a reverse king. This time we got a reverse king. The first one was King of Swords, so like words and flowing out energy, was controlling, was domineering, something along those lines. And then now we have the King of Pentacles for him. So there was also some kind of financial element to it. So I'm feeling like he was helping her financially maybe in some way, and was kind of using that over her head. Not sure for what yet, but something along those lines, because we also have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, which is the energy between Caylee and her father in the week before. And this is about recovering from a financial loss, recouping in some way, overcoming a struggle that had been ongoing or tension that had been building up. And then for Caylee, we have, in terms of the energy between her and her father in the week before, there was some kind of confusion, or she felt like she wasn't able to think for herself in some way. And this isn't making an excuse for her, but how I said before, it was either that she was going one way or going the opposite and rebelling. This Ace of Swords in reverse is making me feel like it was rebelling against the control that she felt like her father had over her. That could be mental control, that could be financial decision-making control, life choice. There's something that he was holding over her head that had something to do with finances and was being used to either control what she did or control, almost feeling like it was making sure that she wasn't seen a lot by people that he knew, like he was like embarrassed of her, and was using some kind of financial control over her to like make sure she acted right, to make sure she didn't do anything that would draw negative attention to the family. And that there's some financial element that was being used to make sure that she behaved in the way that he felt was correct. Yeah. So now for Caylee's version of events, which we can only take with a grain of salt because she has a tendency to lie. She says that she was sleeping in bed, got up, and then Caylee was nowhere to be found. What was going on in Caylee's energy in the 15 minutes prior to the beginning of whatever happened? So not before she died per se, but 15 minutes prior to whatever began to happened. That's what I'm looking into. Page of Swords. Five of Cups reversed. And the Moon. So Caylee was exploring or being curious about something. She was like not happy, trying to make herself in a better mood by exploring or being curious about something, maybe being a little mischievous. But the Moon is making me feel like she was doing something that she wasn't necessarily supposed to be doing. So it was like something playful, playing around in some way, trying to cheer herself up, probably trying to get attention, I feel like. If she felt disconnected from her mom, then that could be like playing around and try and misbehave just enough that she got her mom's attention. Clarifier for the Page of Swords. So about the curiosity or about whatever she was doing at the time. Clarify the Page of Swords. The Tower in reverse. So I'm almost feeling like she knocked something over. This would be like if allegedly. Like if Caylee was playing around, trying to get her mom's attention or trying to be goofy and silly to kind of get love, and then let's say she knocked something over that was like expensive or something that Casey valued in some way, and it's like it didn't break, but it set Casey off. Yeah, clarifier for the 5 of Cups in reverse. So this is the element of Caylee kind of not being happy and trying to cheer herself up. 7 of Swords. Yeah, as being sneaky, trying to get away with something. Yeah, she knocked something over, or she like knocked into something. Hold on a second. All right. Yeah, this is, yeah, like if she knocked into something. But I really feel like she was trying to get attention or trying to get love. Like there was some kind of lack of flow towards her in terms of emotion or affection. And she was like trying to get it somehow by like feeling, you know, as kids do, but that's the energy here that I'm seeing. But I'm seeing that like, I'm pretty sure she knocked something over. Casey always says, like, there's bits of truth in all my lies. Like, that's supposed to get her a medal of some sort. But I'm almost feeling like maybe she was sleeping or falling asleep or trying to rest, and Caylee knocked something over. Because Casey leaves, like, breadcrumbs in her stories so that if she gets caught in a lie, she can go back and look for the breadcrumb and figure out how to revamp her lie to make it fit the new scenario of her getting caught in that lie. So I almost feel like she was probably sleeping, resting, trying to, you know, catch up on sleep or whatever. And Caylee knocked something over, and that was the kickoff of this happening. Clarifier for the moon. 5 of Swords in reverse, yeah. Casey thought that she was justified in being as mad as she was about whatever had happened with Caylee knocking something over, allegedly. My opinion. She jumped the gun on her reaction. So it's almost like if she heard something, this is the picture I'm getting in my mind. Casey's laying in bed in one room, and then Caylee had been laying with her and got out of bed and was in the other room and knocked something over. It was loud. It sounded like it shattered. Maybe it did. I feel like it didn't because the tower's in reverse. So let's say something sounded like it shattered or did shatter, whatever. This is like if Casey were to jump out of bed and just react in a very aggressive, over the top, too much way. What happened after that? Knight of Swords in reverse. Six of Pentacles. Yep. Let me pull one more clarifier before I say this. And this is right under the King of Pentacles, so it's right under Six of Cups. She overreacted. She did something that she instantly regretted. She did something that she instantly regretted. She got up. I'm feeling she didn't intend to kill her, but she meant to, like, she didn't realize how much, or maybe she did realize, but there was so much pent up frustration in Caylee that it was like she had extra force behind whatever she did because she was so fired up. It's almost like if you're falling asleep and then you hear something shatter in the other room and you like jump up. She carried that adrenaline with her to confront Caylee. I'm feeling like she shook her, or maybe like hit her into something, like pushed her into the wall, like hit her into the wall. It's something like that. It's something where she did it and it was like immediate realization that she went too far, because it was obvious, and you know what I mean, in that moment she could see immediate repercussions of what she had done. The Six of Pentacles is about like giving and receiving, and immediately when the Knight of Swords came out in reverse, I thought she called someone for help after this happened. And then we had the Six of Pentacles, so that really confirmed it for me. And that's, hold on a second. He's going downstairs, okay. That immediately confirmed that for me, because it brings in the element of material help, or help in a financial way. So it brings back that King of Pentacles energy, that there was some financial element that was kind of being used in an effort to control Caylee. So, and especially if the father did not want to be embarrassed by her and was kind of helping her out financially so that she would behave in a certain way, this would be another thing that he would have to kind of cover up, allegedly, in my opinion. But the Knight of Swords in reverse, Six of Pentacles, Six of Cups combo is saying to me that she called somebody else that had a financial interest in Caylee not ruining their reputation. We have the Six of Cups, which is about like childhood. So it would go and oh, I said that's right under the King of Pentacles. We have King of Pentacles in reverse and then Six of Cups underneath of it. Yeah, it's pointing to it being her father. She called her father for help, allegedly, in my opinion. She called her father for help. Confirmation for the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, that financial, yeah. He would have lost too much of a chunk of his reputation if this got out what had happened. Like the headlines would be something like, mother gets disrupted during her midday nap and slams child into the wall. Like, he couldn't let that happen. So I don't really think it was too much about protecting Caylee, because he was already embarrassed of her. He was already kind of over it. But it was to protect his own reputation, his own livelihood. Everything that he had going on would have been all lost if she just admitted to what happened. So I do think that he played I'm not getting that he played a role in the murder, but I'm getting that he played a hand in the aftermath of it. Clarifier for the Six of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. So his long-term trajectory would have been messed up by this hiccup. I do feel like the only reason he was really staying connected to Caylee was for external appearances and Caylee. So I think that his connection to Caylee, I almost feel like if it wasn't for Caylee, he would have like shipped Casey off somewhere, been like, oh, just go live in, I'll pay for you to go live in this other state, just go. But then she had Caylee, and that kind of, he wanted a relationship with his granddaughter because he wanted to replace what he felt like he didn't have with his daughter. And that's why it was so triggering for him to be so embarrassed, and why he would want to cover it up right away. Yeah. He thought, he felt like Casey was a very lazy mom. Yeah, I really feel like his entire relationship with Casey was so that other people didn't look at it as if, oh, you must have problems because you don't communicate with your daughter. Like, that's one element, and the other element was just because of Caylee. I don't think that he's protecting Casey. I think he's protecting himself and his reputation, and Casey just benefits from that because in order for him to protect himself, she has to be protected. I know she went to trial and everything like that, so it's not just him protecting her, but I do feel like he knows what happened. Allegedly, my opinion. I do feel like he knows what happened. I do feel like she had a hand in covering this up, especially because we had the Knight of Swords in reverse, so that's like someone coming in fast to help her. The horse on that card is white, but it's in reverse, so it's like that purity is taken out of the situation. Someone's helping her with something not good. Like not someone who was coming over to try and call the cops. It was someone who was coming over knowing they were going to help cover this up. Okay. Clarifier. Oh, no, I did all them. No, I didn't. Clarifier for the Six of Cups. Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so we have up top, we have the reverse King of Pentacles. Then under that, we have the Six of Cups. So I said that that was the father. That was Casey being his child. And then we have the Two of Cups in reverse, which is about separation. It's like this was the last straw. In terms of ever mending the relationship between Casey and her father, it was like, okay, I'm going to help you clean this up, clean this situation up, but then I'm done with you. I don't give a shit anymore. After that, we're done. I feel like you can kind of see that too. I'm thinking of the one interview where Casey's in jail. She's on the right side of the screen. She's in jail, and then her parents are on the left side of the screen, and the mom is like up at the phone, and the dad's kind of in the background. And I feel like this makes a very good sense with his energy that I saw in that scene. You can tell that the dad and the mom are not on the same page, and that's because the dad knows more than he's saying, but he would never say that because he has to protect his reputation, his livelihood, and at this point, his freedom, because he would have messed up an investigation if he were to admit now. So, what role did the dad play? Justice in reverse. Queen of Wands. Nine of Cups. And Page of Cups reversed. So he made sure that justice wasn't going to come. He did something to block justice from happening for Caylee. Something that had to do with that feminine figure, which in this case is Casey. He helped to, that queen is like confidence. That queen is the social element. So he helped her design and decide how she was going to handle the situation in terms of the public, what she was going to say. I do feel like he gave her the advice of what to do and how to handle it, but I do think that he had her do or say certain things so that looking back, there would be some kind of plausible deniability or reasonable doubt that the father had anything to do with it. She talks very negatively about her father. And honestly, I'm feeling like he told her to do at least some of that. And I don't think that she realizes why. I think she just more so followed what he said to say because he was getting her out of this situation. And I think that it kind of developed into more than he had intended it to be, especially with the SA claims and all of that. I feel like he instructed her to say certain things negatively about him so that he would be able to go back and say, do you think I told her to say that? She's obviously not following my orders because I didn't. Why would I tell her to say that about me? But I think Casey kind of amped it up and dramatized it and made it much more than he had intended it to be originally. But I do think at least some of what she has said was by his instruction and was strategy to get her out of this, while at the same time separating himself from looking like he was a part of it. Because why would I tell her to say that bad stuff about me? We obviously didn't get, I wouldn't help her. We didn't get along. Obviously she's scared of me or something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some of that was either directly or indirectly stemming from what he wanted her to be doing and saying to protect himself, even though it made him look bad temporarily. Well, not temporarily, but like not as bad as covering up a murder would make him look. And then the Page of Cups in reverse is Caylee. So, and the Nine of Cups here is like, excuse me. So justice is reversed. He blocked justice from being able to happen by protecting that Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is getting that Nine of Cups. That Queen of Wands actually got what she wanted out of this, as sick as that sounds. She wanted to be free again. She wanted to chase material pleasures and everything that she didn't need to be focused on so that she could focus on being a mom. She doesn't have to focus on being a mom anymore, so she can focus on the other stuff. Under the surface, that's what she wanted. So she got what she wanted. In this situation, the father also got what he wanted because he got to separate himself from his daughter, and his name didn't get completely brought down like it would if it got found out that he helped in any way with this. And Casey literally got away with murder. So it's almost like he has oh, well, she got away, so if she was guilty, she would have got found guilty. It's that kind of mindset. So they both got what they wanted out of this. Casey got what she wanted out of being able to be free again, and the father got what he wanted out of, after the situation happened, he got what he wanted to happen as an outcome from it. Like, if there had to be some kind of outcome from this happening to Caylee, it ended in a way that was pleasing to him. So I really do think that at least some of the bad stuff that she's saying about him was originally stemming from his instruction to do so. She took it further than he intended, but the seeds were planted by him. And then the Page of Cups in reverse here is about neglecting your inner child. So it really is. Caylee felt very neglected. She wanted attention. She wanted love. And Casey just snapped. She knows that she snapped, and she just snapped. But in Casey's mind, it's not all her fault, because she had all this stress and all this pressure, and her dad was controlling her. This is in Casey's mind. So she was able to kind of back herself out of her guilty conscience from this. I really, really, truly feel that in Casey's mind, she feels like, yes, it's a horrible tragedy, but it wasn't my fault. Even though she's the one who, I believe, physically caused Caylee's death, she's able to convince herself it wasn't her fault because of what the cards that life had dealt her. So she's able to back away from this mentally and emotionally. How did Caylee go about getting from the home to the burial site where she was found? Two of Swords in reverse. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, that's the team effort. So they had to decide as a team what to do. I do think that these cards are implying that Casey knew where her daughter was going to be found. I don't know if that means that she took her there or if he took her there. I'm feeling like it wasn't Casey because I think that once help was called in, that help did not want Casey to further mess anything up and was kind of like, let me just get us out of the situation and then we go separate ways. Especially the Three of Pentacles is like misalignment. The Two of Swords is about like we need to decide right now. Like we need to just make a choice, do it, and then never look back. That choice that you can't go back from, that's negative. So I do feel like it wasn't necessarily a discussion like, should we call for help? Should we call the police? I don't think that was part of the discussion. I think the discussion centered around where should we hide her? What should we do with her body? My opinion. But that's what I feel like it wasn't, oh, should we call the police or should we hide her body? I think it was just, where should we hide her body? I think that was the conversation from the get-go, which tells you a lot about the dynamic of the relationship. My opinion. I do feel like he was not happy. He was not happy about it, but he was willing to help her because at that point, I believe that he got there after Caylee was already deceased. So for him, it was like, okay, what am I going to do? I can't bring her back to life even if I call the cops. So my best bet is to help hide this situation so that I don't go down with my daughter sinking ship because she's been trying to drown me for years and it's finally going to work if I let this come out what happened. That's what I'm getting. What was the conversation, if any, between Casey and her father after Caylee's body was where it was ended up being found at? The Lovers in reverse. Yeah, he was done with her. He was absolutely done with her. Ten of Swords in reverse. He was done with her and he was trying to figure out a way to move on or get out of the situation. He knew that there was something coming from this situation and was kind of just preparing for it in whatever way he could. But he was done with Casey. Judgment. Yep. So it was a while before they were able to find her. I would say right off the bat, you would be able to notice a discord between the father and Casey. Because he knew what happened and he knew that there was no going back from it. And he spent as much time like nonchalantly preparing for what he knew would eventually come out, and that would be the finding of Caylee's body. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting. That's what I wanted to know. I don't know if I'm going to do a follow-up on this one because I feel like once you know, you know. And I feel like now I know. I honestly thought that the father was going to have a little bit more to do with it. I thought maybe he was going to be in the house when it happened, but it's not looking that way to me. It's looking like he was really just involved in the cleanup of the situation. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do with this. Have a good day.